So basically, I did almost 13 years with the Los Angeles Police Department after getting out of the Army. For many, many months, I've been saying that America is really one minority involved police killing away from absolute, national meltdown. But I never could have imagined it would be this egregious. And I don't mean the response, I mean the actual murder. When I saw that on the news, the murder of Mr. Floyd, I got to be honest. I mean, being pro cop and pro law enforcement, and having worn a uniform almost my entire life, one uniform or the other, I try very hard to maybe not justify, but understand when police officers kill in controversial situations. I've helped people and seen good people and bad people. And I know one thing, I don't know a lot of things, but I do know that we're all in it together, no matter how much division is injected by other things, whether it's political or people with agendas. We're all living here together. The way the human construct works, the strong will devour the weak if there's not something separating them. And in this case, whether we hate cops or love cops, it literally is a very thin, tenuous blue line that separates people being able to go to work and go get a cup of coffee from absolute pandemonium and a dog-eat-dog world.
It is really hard. You talked about how with the police department, there is almost like a brotherhood, a sisterhood, fraternity, and people are, cops are reluctant to turn on other cops. I think many of us have had a point in time where we've had to do so, and we've done the right thing. And I know I have, and it was never comfortable. And it was the same thing. It was a division.
Or when I was new on the police department, I was trained by people that were Vietnam veterans, and these were some hardcore guys that worked back in the 70s when you could shoot a fleeing felon. I mean, it didn't matter if a guy was committing a felony, you could shoot him in the back. That was legit. We were choking people out, even in my time. And these things adjust. So the police departments are a living, breathing chunk of society that must evolve. And sometimes you got to knock on them and protest, and you got to go and change laws and rules, and that's good stuff. And this is my fear in terms of what's happening now. A society that will turn against those willing to come to their aid will lose eventually, because I already fear it's too late. I have inside knowledge because I talk to cops that are active duty. Recruitment is down almost across the country. And if you think it was down before Mr. Floyd's murder, when good people no longer want to wear that badge, it's going to have to be worn by somebody. And if you think police are bad now because people tell you they're bad, political people say the cops are racist, the rappers say the cops are racist, the Hollywood people tell you the cops are racist. And if you really buy into that, when you only have the lower echelon of people willing to put on that badge, you haven't seen corruption or crime like you're going to see. I don't wish it upon society, but this is just natural, the ebb and flow and the natural outcome of when you have people that are good cops that are going to go out there and willing to give their life, who say, you know what, maybe I'll join the fire department instead, or maybe I'll go open my own business. Why? When cops got killed, there was a time when people felt bad about it.
I think people really don't believe that this is all day, every day, day in, day out, year after year, and it's a reality. And so I'm glad that you said that. I think it's important to know where, where the law enforcement officer is coming from when they do stop you. And I will tell you, I am so thankful you shared your story, and I want to have another episode with you because I know I have so many more questions for you, and I know we're limited to an hour. However, your story, I love it. I love to hear. I don't love to hear what you went through as a child. It just breaks my heart. And I will tell you that I have worked with many different cops, and I would say the majority, not all of them, the majority are really trying to make a difference, spending the time, talking to the people, where are you coming from, trying to help the youth turn their life around. I have seen it over and over and over, buying food for somebody, the homeless man, giving them money on a regular basis, not just every now and then. I've seen so much good, and I feel at this point in time, I wish people could just say, although we can stereotype and say, yeah, we see that cops have this, certain, way that they are, I guess, but at the same time, they're not most of the people got into this, into law enforcement because they had a heart. They had a heart to help others.
You see cars stopped on the 4-way or 2 ways, letting traffic go. And there's no police around at that moment, let's just say. People stop for a light that turned a different color because inherently we all want to have order versus chaos. This is how an intelligent civilization advances and lives, so we don't have car crashes and burning cars all over the place. A light turns red. We say, now every now and again somebody will go through the red light, or maybe a little late, and then the cop lights them up and there's a penalty and we don't have to like it. Maybe there's a better way to do it. But most of the time we don't even need cops to be there because most people are good people and they're going to stop and they're going to follow the rules.
I say change starts with self-awareness. Be self-aware of your own prejudice, your own biases, your own opinions, and realize that, you know, we get frustrated. I see society's frustrated. They're acting out. But I feel like, you know, you can be a part of the problem or you can be a part of the solution. Yeah, and that starts with you personally. I'm choosing myself to be a part of the solution. I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to vote. I'm going to decide, you know, what is important, what's not. And if everybody does that and doesn't listen to what their mom said, their dad said, their friend said, social media said, the stuff that people believe and get riled up about on social media is absolutely ridiculous, because we're herd animals. We want to follow a herd. We follow, you know, what everybody says we should do, you know, like, let's just be a duck walking with the rest of the ducks. This isn't the time to be a duck. This is the time to think for yourself, you know, do the right thing. Change starts within. It's never too late to change. And I encourage everybody to challenge yourself to becoming informed, to empower yourself through knowledge. I'm going to tell you, knowledge is intrinsic, meaning that no one can take it away from you. They can take your car, they can take your, you know, your freedom. If you're arrested, they can take your money, they can take your wife, they can take your girlfriend, they can take your kids, they can take anything. But one thing somebody cannot do is take away the knowledge that you gain. And that knowledge is power, and power creates change, and it all comes from within.